welcome to Qatar 365, the show that offers a fresh perspective on Doha and the local areas with me, Miranda Atty. This episode, we're going on a melodic journey to discover how classical, traditional and folk music are all being transformed here in Qatar. Coming up, we meet current members of Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra, as well as a new generation of budding classical music stars. Nasser Saheem tells us of his mission to bring folk music to the masses, and we get a masterclass in the sweet sounds of traditional Qatari songs. The Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra is made up of more than 100 musicians from all over the world. Created in 2007, its aim is to inspire adults and children in the region, regularly performing a mixture of Arabic and Western symphonies at Qatar Opera House. When it comes to turning out a pitch-perfect performance of some of the most famous symphonies in history, the adage, "practice makes perfect," certainly holds true. Visiting conductor David Neiman is putting the Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra, or QPO as it's known, through its paces ahead of a sold-out performance of classics.
You have Arab musicians, you have European musicians from the Far East, really from almost everywhere. So it's an eclectic, interesting mix of cultures, really, and to work with them is, in that regard, a pleasure.
QPO is unique in that its mandate extends beyond just performing.
This was very interesting for me, not to live abroad, also to be part of a new cultural project. And when we came here end of August 2008, so it was a big mixture, more than 30 different nations inside the orchestra. And of course, everybody had certain levels of experience, but we started everything from scratch.
There's a lot of Arabic music that we do perform and that we play. And the goal is to always integrate Arabic music in our symphonic program, in our classic program, to have really an attraction for everyone, to attract all kinds of people.
The musicians have an intensive schedule. As well as practicing 5 days a week, in high season there's usually one concert every weekend. But it's not just established performers who are honing their skills in strings, woodwind and percussion. We've come here to Qatar Music Academy to meet some promising young talents who are aiming to become the next cohort of classical musicians.
I play the violin and the piano. I've been playing violin since I was 5, and I've played the keyboard since I was 4 and the piano since I was 5. I really want to be a soloist and inspire younger generations to play classical music.
As well as tutors for Western classical instruments, many of whom are part of QPO, there's a strong focus here on teaching Arab percussion and strings.
My teacher, Mr. Ahmed, taught me how to play the oud and how to become a successful student. He always pushes me and says that you are doing well and that you can be better. He always gives me harder and harder pieces, so that's how I can go forward.
We have got specially commissioned pieces of music composed by local composers, and our 2 leading ensembles actually arrange music for Western instruments and Arab instruments. We are very proud that we can offer also that kind of fusion between, East and West.
And that fusion can be seen in Qatar Music Academy concerts performed throughout the year, as well as in special collaborations with QPO. Faheem Al Jassim is a multi-talented musician, composer and singer, as well as being the Deputy Executive Director of the Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra. And he told me his latest project is a mission to bring traditional Qatari folk songs, often sung on dhow boats like these, to a wider audience.
It started from my grandfather, who really has his duties to develop the music in Qatar during, beginning of the 20th century. He gave the rest of the duties to my uncle, who also works in the 1960s to start developing the Qatari music and songs. And after that, he passed it to me. So I took this really seriously, and that's where I am now, developing the Qatari music to the different direction.
Tell us a little bit more about the traditional Qatari folk music performance at Qatar Opera House.
You know, we have different type of folk music. We have like the sea songs, we have the summer songs. They created the songs in the boat to give them energy to work together. They sing it as an harmony, and then the main singers start going loudly and sing. This is very beautiful and even very complicated rhythm. Back then, nobody studied music. They are like focusing on diving, focusing on just enjoying the music, just feeling it, and they put it in, in life. So now our duty is to record all these things and to put it in our research and to start deeply analyze all these musical things theoretically and record it for our incoming generation. It's rich. It's really rich.
And you're talking about collaboration, and you know your new challenge is maybe your biggest collaboration yet. You were telling me earlier about your PhD.
The idea came to me that I will choose how to compare our culture of music in Qatar and link it with Uzbekistan music. So from here, I started to do my PhD. So from there, I start to find a link between both cultures, from the historical and nowadays. All the time I'm challenging myself to build a line or a bridge between different cultures.
Qatari music is steeped in rich tradition, but the challenge with any form of folk music is to keep it alive through the generations. Well, there's a conscious effort to preserve Qatari traditions through music with a twist. Adil Halim takes us on a musical journey to see and hear how what's old is becoming new again.
Deep in Qatar studios, what's old is new again. Qatari songstress Anwar is singing folk music native to the region, but with a modern touch.
أنا إذا أغني أحس بفرح، أحس بانتماء يعني، وبالأخص إذا غنيت الأغاني الوطنية اللي تنتمي حق بلادي يعني وايد أفرح فيها.
This style named Samri, the rhythm, tum ta 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 tum ta ta ta. This Samri. This Samri kind, every time we hear by female singer. In wedding, and sometime in the house.
In the house is where music composer Muhammad Al-Banna discovered his love of music.
I birthed in the music house. My father's maestro. When I am small age, I hear the music in my house. The music, my blood, my oxygen.
Music is Anwar's life. She's been singing for 2 decades.
إحنا نقول الفنان يغني الأغاني القديمة عشان ما تندثر وتختفي. فهاي الأغاني أغاني أجدادنا، فلازم نطورها ونغنيها لأنها من أحلى الأغاني.
Al-Banna says it's no easy task to remake traditional Gulf music, and you must follow a simple rule.
Don't touch the original melody, because every time the original melody together with the rhythm in one line, when you touch that, make it mistake.
Across the city, we met Faisal Al-Tamimi. For the past 3 years, the music composer worked on a project to bring the nation's folk music to a global audience. And he got a chance to share his passion for mixing Gulf music with electronic and jazz sounds at the recent World Cup draw that was broadcast worldwide.
لغة واحدة، لغة الموسيقى. إدخال الموسيقى الإلكترونية على الموسيقى الخليجية قد يفقدها هويتها وشخصيتها. احنا نقول لا، انهم يعضدون بعض، لأن في الأخير هذه حالة إنسانية، والحالة الإنسانية تتشابك وتلتقي حتى لو كان بينها آلاف الكيلومترات.
Al Tamimi believes the legacy of Qatar 2022 will extend far beyond the football pitch.
يعني بالنسبة لنا هذا كأس العالم فرصة ذهبية أن احنا نحاول أن نسمعهم ونريهم أن احنا بلد عندها حضارة وعندها تاريخ. لذلك يجب أن يعرف العالم أن قطر هذه الدولة الصغيرة اللي ما كانت معروفة من قبل معظم دول العالم الآن أصبحت دولة معروفة رغم صغر حجمها لأن عندها إرث كبير موسيقى وحياة اجتماعية والحياة الاجتماعية مرتبطة ارتباط وثيق بالموسيقى.
Back at Qatar studios, El Banna is also working with another singer, Mansour Al-Muhannadi, to modernize traditional songs.
أنا كانت الفكرة هذه في بالي على أساس إحنا نطور الفنون البحرية وبشكل خاص النهمة اللي هي الموال. فأنا كان في بالي إن أنا أنهم الموسيقى مع الموسيقى ومع الآلات، لكن ندخل مثل ما قلت ندخل عليها الآلات الموسيقية، اللحال والطبل والهمهمة الكورال.
How amazing to hear local sounds being given a new lease of life. And that's all we've got time for on this episode. But as always, if you have any questions, just reach out via our hashtag Qatar365. Thanks for watching. Do check out Euronews.com for more and join us again next time on Qatar365.